start advocating Apple switch coding. So it will be a simple, fun introduction to get everyone familiar with a new coding language. To start learning Swift coding is very easy. If you have a Mac or an iPad, you can download Swift Playgrounds on your Apple Store. Just head to the App Store, tap Search, and type Swift Playgrounds. Then tap Download when you see a logo with an orange bird or this colorful preview. Once Swift Playgrounds is downloaded into your device, tap Open. For our introduction, we will be using Learn to Code 1. At the bottom right, under Get a Playground, tap See All to get into the More Playgrounds menu. On the most top category, under Learn to Code and Build Apps, swipe until you see the course for Learn to Code 1. Tap or click the course to start downloading the playgrounds into your device. You can go through the introduction on your own, but I will explore this section during the live stream with you again. That's all you need to do to prepare for the live stream. I can't wait to share and explore Swift coding with you next week. See you soon! Hi everyone! For my 29th birthday, I just want to do something different. I will host a live stream to introduce how to get started with Swift coding. It will be on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even Twitch. It's really just a simple wish to start advocating Apple switch coding. So it will be a simple, fun introduction to get everyone familiar with a new coding language. To start learning Swift coding is very easy. If you have a Mac or an iPad, you can download Swift Playgrounds on your Apple Store. Just head to the App Store, tap Search, and type Swift Playgrounds. Then tap Download when you see a logo with an orange bird or this colorful preview. Once Swift Playgrounds is downloaded into your device, tap Open. For our introduction, we will be using Learn to Code 1. At the bottom right, under Get a Playground, tap See All to get into the More Playgrounds menu. On the most top category, under Learn to Code and Build Apps, swipe until you see the course for Learn to Code 1. Tap or click the course to start downloading the playgrounds into your device. You can go through the introduction on your own, but I will explore this section during the live stream with you again. That's all you need to do to prepare for the live stream. I can't wait to share and explore Swift coding with you next week. See you soon! Hi everyone! For my 29th birthday, I just want to do something different. I will host a live stream to introduce how to get started with Swift coding. It will be on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even Twitch. It's really just a simple wish to start advocating Apple switch coding. So it will be a simple, fun introduction to get everyone familiar with a new coding language. To start learning All right, hi there. Good evening, everybody. Uh, I'm just gonna say that this entire stream is going to be only a very few people, and you guys are going to be here perhaps only a few seconds. But nevertheless, I'm just going to do this, just to get myself used to streaming, and of course, creating something online so that everybody can have a resource to check and learn a lot of stuff. And today, just to let everybody know, is my 29th birthday. And if you're stick around, thank you all for being here. And I just want to say that just something different this year. I'm just going to give something out for the community and just to give everybody a little chance to learn something. And of course, take the time to share my passion in, learning new stuff or even something on technology. Now, do let me know whether or not the sound or many other stuff is not clear because I just want to share stuff with everybody. So just let me know if it's very soft or very loud at the time. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and just to introduce a few things. Uh, for any user on the Mac or any user on the iPad, this are the stuff that we're going to use for our session. So I'm just going to go ahead and just lay it out. This are the stuff that we're going to use for. Okay. And put on a little bit of music for everybody as well, so that that will not be distracting. It's a very soft, a tiny soft one, I guess. All right, first thing first. I just want to share this to everybody because this is something I want to make for myself, and I just want to go ahead and try this on my own. I'm just going to put the music a little softer so that I can hear myself speaking at the same time. Okay. Now, first of all, I want to show this to everybody because these are some of the tech series that many of the Apple teachers or Apple education is actually going around. And if you have an iPad or a MacBook, these are the stuff shared by Apple Education. And a lot of other teachers in various international schools are using this at the same time. So, if you have an iPad or a Mac, these are the features or books that you can look into when you use on iBooks. So right now on my iPad screen, on the bottom there is a iBooks where many of the it's not really popular right here in Malaysia, but if you use iBooks quite often, you can actually head onto the bookstore and search the Everyone Can Code series from Apple. So I'm here on the bookstore and I can just search like Everyone Can Code. Okay, Everyone Can Code or Everyone Can Create series. And you can have a large library created by Apple, and these are downloadable for free actually from Apple. So whether or not you're a teacher or a student, just head on to any iBooks or head on to iPad. When you have an iPad or a Mac, just go on to these kind of bookstore and, gather all these resources for yourself, because these stuff are for everybody, free. You just got to make sure you have an Apple ID and get yourself with these free resources that you need to. Okay, now that's the introductions I want to do for everybody. And before we head on to the Swift Playgrounds, I just want to start out with the teacher's guide first. Because if you're sticking around, as of now, I know there are only a very few people right here in the chat, but that's okay, because I'm going to record this session over in Twitch, and I'm just gonna make it as snippets or highlights of what I'm sharing. And it's also very good for a portfolio as well. So right here, currently in this teacher book, I'm just going to go through some of the few concepts that we are learning, or what Apple will introduce for everybody. So right here, if you're a teacher or if a student, you can actually grab this Apple Books for yourself. And they have these kind of introductory session where you can learn a little bit of concepts. But before I head on to this book, I want to introduce in my own books, my introductory videos, we have what we call Apple Swift Playgrounds. And if you have downloaded it already, that's the applications that you got to use. This little orange code right here. And this will be a playgrounds, literally like a coding place or editor. And what we call in the developer stages, we call this IDE. So if you want to learn how to code Apple apps or iOS app, iPad apps, Swift Playgrounds is a place where you can create any apps that you want, whether it's on an iPad or iPhone. These playgrounds are literally, a playground where, or an editing place where Apple allows and give you some kind of team for you to learn. On the bottom right, if you have seen my introductory video for the past few weeks, these are playgrounds created by Apple, and you can actually go through these kind of courses for yourself to learn how to program and how to code over an Apple iOS or iPad OS kind of app. The Swift Playgrounds is basic codes, like a thematic, like a playbook where you can learn codes one by one or step by step. But over on Python, like Mac apps or iPad apps, those are, hi there, Bojo Monkey. Very, very nice for you to come in into Twitch today. All right. For these kind of applications in code over in Apple Swift Playgrounds, these are basic stuff. But if you want to have an advanced coding, you can learn about Apple Swift Xcode. Those are Mac apps, iPhone apps, or even more detailed app. All right, with that said, I'm just going to go ahead over in the Apple iBooks, and we're going to go through the introductions slightly. All right, these stuff are basically teacher stuff to learn what about Swift Playgrounds. They're very nice visualized books to show what are the puzzles, what are the concepts that we need to learn about when it comes to Apple Swift coding. So If your teacher or if your school is actually doing this, they are learning mostly on modern lessons about Swift coding on Apple IS, Apple iPad, or iPad OS or iOS kind of learning playgrounds. All right. About these lessons, there are four teams. If you're a teacher, there are four teams that you can actually go through, which is learn, try, apply, and connect. All right, these four kind of thematic that will guide your students or yourself to learn and identify the goal. And there are several concepts that we actually apply this when we teach coding, such as Python or Scratch, on commands, functions, for loops, variables, conditionals, various other stuff right here on this table. And the tools that we often use over in the app, the Apple Swift playgrounds right here, are several things that we are going to use, such as an inspiration journal. So if you are learning Swift coding, or perhaps even in this kind of switch, these kind of live streams I would also encourage you to use some kind of journal so that you can write down what are the concepts that you learned throughout the stream, or if you're watching this later on your recording, or highlights later on. All right. Now, as a teacher or whoever is watching this currently, these are the points like observe, explain, create that you can actually use this for your classes if you're going to teach Swift coding. Okay. Now, these are some accessibility stuff. These are quite useful tools for teachers to go through, but I'm just going to go on ahead and show you what students will have whenever you have whenever you have a copy of your books, when you download it over an Apple iBooks. And if you want to have a PDF copy, I will give it as a material on my website. Details will be shared to you if you're interested to do that. Okay, now the very first thing today, this is called commands. Commands will be, in coding, where in everything that we do in this world, such as what we call instructions. Whatever we do, there are instructions, there are directions, and in a team, we always give like a specific actions that we have. But I want everybody to pay a little bit of attention over to the command key vocabulary here, because these are quite important stuff where it comes to coding, such as call, camel case, command, order, and sequence. And some of these, for example, command, right over here, order, sequence, right here. I'm going to just screenshot this a little bit and highlight this for you to show where I am actually doing. Okay, so here, command, call, I'm going to use the highlight to order and sequence and call. Now, in the coding world or coding places, we use these kind of vocabulary quite often. But however, today, over at the Swift commands, or what we call Apple's programming places, we call the languages or the pseudocode that we use is camel case. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the books right there. I'm going to delete this screenshot, and there are a couple of things we're going to learn. Now, commands right here, learn, is imagine ourselves that we're going to give an instruction to a robot to take out trash. Now, creating instructions or kind of common sense that we use around our real world, like when we were asked to give an instruction to do something, we apply a little bit of common sense. But however, when we program into computer programs or robot, we need to give a very, very specific instruction, which is right over here, over at the center. Now, very specific instructions, sometimes when we think that logical steps are very, very short, but sometimes specific instruction needs to be longer or very, very tedious stuff. And we're going to learn a little bit about that later on. Now, these are some of the stuff I'm going to go through. We're going to have a little bit of introduction, some of the books you have. If you have a copy of this, they will show you what are the visuals, what are the steps that we're going to go on. So, before we go on to Swift Playgrounds later on, I'm just going to show this a little bit because this is what we're going to do today. So, in Swift Playgrounds, it's literally like a 3D arena where you can program your what we call here byte. Okay, this avatar we're going to use today is called byte. All right, and most of the time when we play or do a little bit of Swift Playgrounds later on, we will think of the logical steps to go through, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we head on to the objective. It's like a puzzle that we need to solve, but on Swift Playgrounds, we would do that with code instead. So instead of just playing a game, we're going to give specific written instructions. All right. Now, we're going to head on to the Swift Playgrounds now. Okay, so these are the books. Okay, I'm not going to go through this because in this little live stream, I'm just showing the books and available resources for yourself to get a hang of how to type and code. So right now we're going to go on to Apple Swift Playgrounds, and if you have your own Twitch, or sorry, your Swift Playground with yourself, you can actually use this currently. You head on to Learn to Code 1 if you have already downloaded. If you haven't, you can just do it whenever that you have your time, and you can rewatch this live stream or as a recording. I'm just going to go ahead on to Learn to Code 1 later on, and these are Apple Swift Playgrounds is literally like a playbook, but you are able to code, you are able to experiment places or even kind of applications that you created. So the on the left, if you open up the menu right here on the top left, it's literally like chapters of book, but it allows you to interact, it allows you to go through the instructions. So the first one right here is the commands instruction. All right, so we're going to go through this little section, commands introduction right here, and you get to see some kind of simulations or understanding or some kind of reading up that you go through. So the first one is here, a little concept to think about. What is a follow recipe to bake something delicious, for example, here, or some kind of concepts that we can go through. And for instructions, when we follow instruction, we need to follow it in correct order, and if we don't, we'll end up with something unexpected. And writing code allows us to create our own set of instruction for your devices to carry out or your program to carry out, and finally is to figure out which instruction which will result in something great. Okay, now in Apple Swift coding or in Apple coding places, you will see this kind of instruction. And you saw the key vocabulary just now. It's called camel case. Camel case, it will start the instruction in small letters and then any other letters after that. For example, right here, move forward. The forward on the F is capital. And we call this, or Apple codes this, the camel case instructions or camel case coding. So right here, we'll start writing commands named by this character, and we're going to perform some tasks right up here. And in these particular learn to code is going to be a collect gem instruction, and that is being mashed together. As you can see, commands always ends in parentheses so that we can put him into more instructions in between. We'll see that later when we go on. All right, that's the introduction concept. We're going to add on to the simulation. Okay. All right, there are sound in this, so I'm just going to turn this on. All right, just give me a moment to just pause the sound. All right, so the cell that I have right now goes through the other section, so let me do a little bit of a Technical glitching. Okay. So I put that particular headphones over into the section. I have to close this, stop mirroring for time being, and I'm gonna connect it again. All right, I hope the sound is actually working. Okay, getting out into the session right here. And it should have a, okay. Here we go. Alright, that's a little loud, so I'm just gonna put this a slightly more. Okay, here we go. Now, on Apple Swift Coding, you literally have what we call here the simulation places, puzzle to solve, but they will use written code for you to run through your simulation. So on the left side, this is where we have the command area where you can type on the instruction. And for me, I already completed this particular puzzle because I went through some of the introduction. But I'm just going to remove all of this so that you guys can benefit from this particular session. So I'm going to delete this one and show you guys how your code can actually make instruction or set instructions for when you come to Apple Swift Playgrounds. Now on the right, there is a puzzle, and our objective is to ensure that we collect a gem. Byte right here is our avatar, and our objective is to make sure that we can collect gems throughout. All right, so very simple. On the right screen, you can see that in order to collect a gem, we need to move 3 places. So in like 1 step, 2 step, and 3 steps right here. So we gotta move 3 step, and that means right at the bottom right here, I'm just gonna screenshot this to so that we can actually make instructions right at the bottom, or you can just tap it. At the same time, you can type it on your own if you want to, but the shortcuts bar is much more easier for us to create our code instead. So here is move forward, and to just show you, if I put only 2 code, literally it will just move forward twice. Okay, so that's not our entire objective. So we're gonna move forward twice, and finally we're gonna collect the gem when we to finish this particular puzzle. All right, so very simple for the first puzzle, and here once we finish this one, we can go on to the next page to get through the entire puzzle again. Okay, I'm going to remove my code on the left so that we can continue. All right, it's a little loud again. I'm going to move this to this bottom. All right, so here on the right side, you can see there's a different puzzle, and this time they introduce us to a new code, which is turn left, right at the bottom. So this is also quite simple. If I'm just going to screenshot this for you guys to see how solving puzzles can help us understand how to create instructions in between. So here is like 2 step forward, and we can create an instruction for a byte to turn left, and then we can move forward 1 more time, and then twice to collect that particular gem right here on this particular area. So here, very simple, move forward, and to just try that out, you can see that that instruction stops right there, and we put on turn left. We're going to move forward again twice, and then we collect the gem. All right. So it turn left, so move forwards twice, and then finally it collects this gem. Also very simple kind of instruction, but it gives us the concept that instructions can be written into sequence. On the left side, you can see here. Right, these are order or sequences where we create our code. Like for example, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, line 6. All right. In order to complete this goal, we need to create about 6 different instructions. All right, we're going to go on ahead and try out the third puzzle. Okay, I'm going to remove this one again just to show you guys a much more detailed instruction. All right, I'm going to select all, delete, and remove it. Okay, now this one is going to be a different puzzle, but we have to move around the puzzle to see the instruction more clear. Because if we go through this particular section, we might be confused the directions right here. This may be turn right for is from this section, but if you move around the puzzle, you can see that Byte actually literally is to turn left in his direction. So I'm going to screenshot to just annotate a little bit of what we're going to see for the movement. So zoom in right over there. Byte needs to move one, and move one more time. And then from here, I'm going to use green to show that he needs to turn left. All right. It's green right over here, turn left one more time. And then here we have one movement and to collect this particular gem right here. Okay, so we have to move one time, two time, turn left, one more time to collect there. But this time, it's not over because we need to toggle the switch. So we're going to, after collecting the gem, we're going to move, and we're going to turn left one more time. And then we're going to move here, move one more time, and then we're going to toggle the switch right here in this particular instruction. So here in this puzzle, as we move on, and if there's more instructions, we can add it in. So just now, move forward once, twice, turn left. Okay, we're moving forward, collect a gem. We're going to do 5 instructions first and see what we're going to do. I'm going to move it a little bit faster. All right, Byte already collected a gem, but the instruction is not done because we need to toggle that switch over there. So we're going to move forward. We're going to turn left or move forward twice to toggle that switch to finish this puzzle because that's our objective. All right, we're going to run faster and see what the instruction looks like. All right. Okay, so that's the toggling switch. There's new additional codes right over here. And here we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 instructions. You can see that the more complicated that a task needs to be done, the more instruction and sequences needs to be added into the sequence or order into our code. And this can be quite taxing when it comes to coding, but don't worry. After the break, I will show you how Apple Swift coding have used like iterations or loops just to repeat some of the instruction. And later on, at 8:35, I'm going to show you that over. But right now, I'm just going to take a little short break before we continue to the next session. All right, be right back. I believe I did not turn on my microphone, and I was speaking to myself most of the time. Um, Once again, welcome back for the Instagram. Whether or not you're here or not here, whether or not on YouTube, I'm just gonna, yeah. On that short break just now, I gather a little bit of thoughts, and I just want to share that to everybody. That if you're watching this on Instagram, it's going to be a very small compressed screen, and if you want to watch the full screen right here, it's going to be on my Twitch, my YouTube, and of course my Facebook account. If you want to have a bigger screen from there. All right, I have some people who have chatted with me over on the Twitch chat and YouTube chat. I want to apologize because I don't really, as am speaking, I don't have a social media manager, so I won't be able to see your messages on live time. So do understand that. If you have questions, you can always leave the question to me later on. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and play this over again and continue the session one more time. So just now we have a set of instruction on toggling switches, and here we're gonna learn a new one called the portal practice, or this new set of commands to help us to teleport to a different place. Okay, so that we can enter more instruction that we go through. Okay, so the puzzle is getting more and more complicated right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and screenshot this and show you guys what are the codes that we have to do. So here byte is situated in the section, and we're gonna move on to the section right here. You can see one forward, two steps, 3 steps, and then we're gonna turn left right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on forward, And sorry, here we're going to move here, and then we're going to move here another step. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have to toggle this switch right over here. Then we had to move forward one more time to get teleported. Here is where you want to do a different variety of instructions. So Byte will be teleported here, and here on out you get to have your creative freedom to go whatever places that you want to go, depending whether or not you want to turn left here or you want to move forward. Then only you get to turn left. But here, in order to turn left, you have to give another instructions to turn right. Okay, so let's experiment. There are 2 different places that we can do to collect this little gem. So I'm going to delete the screenshot and go back to the simulation. So Byte is on the right hand side, and let's turn on and enter the code. Okay, since we don't have a turn right, so we only have a choice of 2. So we're going to move forward once, twice, and then thrice to go over to the center. I'm going to run faster so that we can see what exactly is that. So we reached that, and what we're going to do is going to put on turn left so that it goes through the toggle switch error. Okay, let that run. 1, 2, 3, and then turn left. And then you can see we're going to move once, twice right here to toggle that switch. We're going to move forward to go to that portal. Let's see what that's going to do. And thank you for that little birthday wishes, Dora Lemina. There's a little issue with that particular code, so we're going to go run that again. And okay, it's a little too loud, so I'm going to just go through. All right, toggle the switch to move forward so that it goes through that little portal. And let's see, we can't, if we turn left, we don't have the turn right instruction yet, so we're going to go through and make sure we're going to go forward that way, then only turn left, and then turn left to move forward. And let's see what's that going to do. So 1, 2, 3 is a move, toggle, go through the puzzle, turn left. You can see that we need to move twice forward to take and collect the gem, and then collect gem right over there. And voila. Okay, for some reason, because I am streaming 2 different places, the code is needs to reload sometime. So you can try that. I'm gonna decrease the volume, and you can see that code. All right, these will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 codes to go. Okay, we're gonna learn more codes. We're gonna create longer instruction. Let's go through to the next one, finding and fixing bugs. Now, whenever we try to do some coding, there will be places where we need to evaluate. We need to check whether some people have created a code correctly. We can try to do that in 2 ways. Or firstly, you can take a look on the code on the left so that you can take a look before you run the program, or you can actually run the program and test it out yourself. So I'm going to go here and see what's wrong with this. So it actually moved forward and collect the gem at a wrong pace. So that means there's something missing that we need to add. So I'm going to just tab on the code. I'm going to leave it right there so that I can put over there. So I have to move forward twice in the beginning. So I'm going to just drag on, go right up here, and then retest. Okay, you can see that we need to move over 2 times, turn left, then only we collect a gem and toggle the switch. So let's run the code a little bit faster, not too fast so that we cannot see anything. Okay, you can see that there is 2 move forwards that is not correct. So we can remove that so that we can collect a gem without moving too further away from the gem. We're going to play that again one more time. Mhm. Here we go. Now, it in this particular session, like finding and fixing bugs, it gives you the opportunity to learn a concept that sometimes when a program instruction or doesn't work, it call in the developing world or the coding world, we call these bugs, and we need to review them and we need to check them. So from the beginning, there are some errors to the instructions, and we get to test it out and try them. So let's move on forward to the next concept, bug squash practice. Okay, the sound sometimes gets a little too loud sometimes, so I'm just gonna adjust that as I go through. All right, so this practice, larger platform for us to go through. So let's do the second way. Let's test out the program and see what's wrong with the code or the instruction on the left, and then we're gonna fix after that. Okay, it turns off the switch. It shouldn't turn off because it does really turn on for us. So that this whole entire practice needs changes. So we're gonna go through. All right, we're gonna run it again by heading back. Okay, gonna stop there. Okay, so that's move forward. We don't need to go too forward right over there. So we're gonna delete so that we can go through just only one step, then turn left. Then after that, we're gonna add in more move forward. So how many steps we need here? 1, 2, 2, 2, and then we toggle the switch. I'm gonna stop right there, and we're gonna test this out first and see how it looks like. Alright, toggle the switch, go through, teleport it over to the section. Alright, you can see that we need to make some changes at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this, and then we're gonna add one more move forward. And here we go. Let's run the code and check whether this works correctly. Okay. All right. So this little concept of bug squash practice, if you try this on your own on your Apple devices or your Swift playgrounds, you get to learn how creating instruction needs reviews, needs you to check again so that you can run the code and check whether there's error or bugs. Okay, we're gonna head on to the next one. All right, this particular challenge right here will ask us to create or to finish the goal by doing the lesser step possible. All right, so this will allow us to do things many ways, and it's really up to us whether or not we want to do it longer, but our goal is to make sure that we do the most shortest route. Okay, so the first route, all right, I will take some time to go through this so that we can do a little bit of flow chart what we're going to do. So in the coding world, it's very important to create a plan, or what we call a flow chart, when we go through or creating instructions on our own. So let's see what is the most fastest way to go through this. All right, by just standing right here, whether we have to make sure we turn this on and collect it, and we got to make sure that we're going to do this as fast as we can. All right, now there are two ways. I can see that already. We can move one more time to collect the gem. Then we can either turn left to move forward. Okay, turn left to move forward here, 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 and here. And we're going to turn left, and we're going to move forward, and then forward to collect or to toggle that switch. Visually, you can see that this takes a longer route, and it doesn't necessarily mean that this is wrong, but it's going to be a very longer quote. And in the coding world, we got to make sure that our codes are neat or that our instructions are neat so that we can achieve a goal or instruction much more easier. And I'm just going to go ahead and use another color. Okay, let's see, I'm going to use blue. So here, you can see that there are alternative ways we can move forward to teleport ourselves, and then byte will appear here, and then we can go here and here to toggle the switch. Compared to the first route that we saw just now, that's way longer to accomplish to go. And from that second route, you can see that it takes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, rather than many instructions that we visually see. So let's gonna try. All right, I'm just going to for concept, for visualization, I'm just going to do the first instruction that we create our flowchart. So that is move forward, move forward, move forward 3 times, and we're going to collect the gem. Then we're going to turn left. We're going to move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward, turn left, move forward to toggle the switch. You can see the first instruction takes a way longer code. Okay, but I'm just going to show it to you guys that you can achieve the same instruction or the same goal, but it's going to be longer, it's going to be more complicating. But aesthetic wise or need wise, this is way too long, okay, to achieve something. All right, now I'm just going to go ahead and now show you the second alternative, but it's shorter instruction. Let's do this. I'm going to stop this until here. All right, this is where I have to do the collect gem. It's going to go ahead and delete the turn left because that second alternative route does not need us to go too far. So move forward, move forward, move forward, move forward. So that's 4 move forwards after collecting gem. Remove that move forward once. No longer needs to turn left or need all these instructions any longer. Let's make this neater. You can see these instructions are way shorter to accomplish this goal. All right, gets teleported to the second area, and then finally it toggles the switch. Okay, right here is going to be the, you can see this section right over here. It allows you to create and achieve the same goal, but with shorter instruction. And in the coding world, our objectives may be the same. Our goal is to do something, but as a developer, as a coder, you got to know that your priority is to make sure that your code is much neater, much shorter to achieve something easily. All right, we're going to do one last little challenge before we end today with a little bit of a plenary. Okay, so this will be functions, okay, as we go through just now, that commands can be longer sequences of order, but sometimes we can create a functions that make all of our tasks or instruction in just one simple quote. So for example, like learning to tie our shoes, we have a lot of sequence of steps to go through. And the first one is loop, then swoop, and pull. That's 3 instructions. But we can create a function and name it as tie my shoe. So whenever when someone asks you to tie your shoe, you immediately know and remember and recall the instructions on what to tie your shoe. And right here we can create a little name with a function called tie my shoe parentheses, and then we have the bracket angle. And these are the 3 instructions to tie a shoe. And in Apple Swift commands, you can create a group of commands called functions or a group of instructions and then use that for yourself. Here, let's try the first one. Okay, we have 2 minutes until the plenary session. Okay. Okay, let me reduce this. It's always turn it to quite loud every time when I do this. Okay. Now, so here is, this is where we're going to use the turn right sequence. Okay, so our goal is to use composition to turn to the right. If you notice that there's no turn right command available, so we're going to create our own little command to, or composition to do that for how to turn right. So right here, we gotta go here. Let's screenshot here. And we're gonna move forward, move forward, move forward. Now we have to turn right, but there's no turn right function. We can actually do this by turning left 3 times. So left, 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 left to get that particular direction. Move forward to get that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and create a composition. Okay, let's see what we can do. Move, move, and move. Then this, because turning left once will just, turn left. So we're going to try doing 3 times because there's no turn right function. Then we're going to move, move, move forward, and toggle the switch. And this is incorrect. This shouldn't be toggle switch, but collect gem. Alright, and I'm going to run my code. Alright, you can see, sorry, for the keyboard, you can see that it actually turned right 3 times. It's absurd, but we don't have the command, so we can actually overcome that by doing that 3 times. Get our creative brain to do that. Alright, so we haven't have a composition to create that yet, or what we call function to create a group of commands to turn left. So we're going to do one more time before we close tonight by creating a function. Okay, you can see that we can now finally create a function for turn left by using function turn right parentheses open bracket. So I'm going to do that turn left thing 3 times to create that group of instructions. All right, so that we can make new instruction with a simple turn left, with a simple turn right command, but doing that 3 times. And let's do this. So we have to toggle that switch right over here. Okay, let's screenshot this, and we're going to go this composition. So we're going to move over to get teleported here, and we're going to appear. Byte will definitely face here, so we're going to turn left twice, but we can do that by turning right a little bit later on. Okay, let's do this. Okay, for right toggle, and then let's go. Okay, so we can do the function by completing this way easier. Gonna pull out the keyboard. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna move forward twice, and let's see how this works. Oh, I cannot do that because, I have to go through the other way. Actually, I didn't see that. That's actually a angle. So let's do this by turning left first. Okay, and let's move forward. Okay, now is where we need to turn right. So we can do that function by entering turn right, because I already create that group of codes already that allow us to move that. So we're going to go here, move forward, we're going to turn right again. We don't have to toggle that switch because that's just turned on. If it's confusing for you, I'm going to just run the code and let you see. So okay, I can't move forward. I should delete that because that's incorrect. Okay, so that's also not right as well. So let's delete. Okay, let's try this. Move forward, turn left, move forward. Okay, that turn right is actually turning left 2 times. Okay, you can see that. Okay, so moving forward is not recommended at this time, and from that area we need to turn right from that place. So I can enter to turn right, moving forward, then turn left, move forward, and toggle the switch. Okay. Alright, you can see that it actually moves. Then go on, left, and enter. Okay, now, so we learned a couple of concepts today. Alright, so let me just go on to the different screens. My 29th birthday, I just want to do something. Alright, we learned a couple of things today right here. Okay, so camel case is very specific and unique for Apple coding. Okay, you can see that all of the instructions start in lower letters, and then after that, whenever there are new words coming in, you can actually capitalize it. That is actually Apple way to make it readable and easily for you to go through the instruction. But the second most important thing that we learned today is that we can create new instruction by grouping them together and naming it a function. So in every Python coding, in every coding that you learn, functions is a group of code, and turning right here with that function will allow us to do 3 different things, but group them out in one code. So instead of doing too many turn lefts, we can have a new function right at the bottom right here to do our instruction. Okay, now that's a very short 1 hour for everybody, and I hope you guys, from whoever who is here currently on this stream, I don't think there's a lot of people right here, but hey, I'm doing this for recording purposes and of course getting myself familiar with Livestream, and I hope that through this everybody gain a little bit of a benefit on coding concepts. And next week on Wednesday I will continue more on the on Swift Playgrounds and more of the functions that we have. And with that, thank you everybody and good evening. My 29th birthday, I just want to do something different. I will host a live stream to introduce how to get started with Swift coding. It will be on Facebook,